A moment of silence for poor Jake Paul. You see, this elder abuser finally ran out of an elder to abuse. Mike Tyson pulled out of the fight with Jake Paul, and I gotta say, this is some concerning stuff, some crazy stuff. This is the craziest rationalization I have seen in combat sports, and I am glad this thing got postponed, and I do hope it gets canceled. But guys, we all knew Mike Tyson, Jake Paul was supposed to go down July 20th. However, the thing got canceled. We're gonna get into why, some of my thoughts, what is the next move, and is Jake Paul going to fight KSI? When can we expect a new date? When is this day gonna be announced? There's so many questions, and yeah, combat sports, the cancellations have been crazy. It looks like UFC 303 might be canceled with that Conor McGregor headliner, and now this card. So to get all the news on combat sports, please guys hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and also hit the notification bell. It helps us so much. We are almost at our goal of 13K subscribers, so if you guys could help me out, I very much appreciate it. And let's just get into it right away. You guys just want to hear this straight up, alright? Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, as I mentioned, they were announced to fight July 20th on Netflix. It was going to be a massive event, and yeah, this would have been massive. It would have brought in the younger audience in Jake Paul, as well as the older, more traditional boxing audience in Mike Tyson. This, from a business standpoint, of course, was a great idea. Everybody knows that. There was no one denying this. However, from a moral standpoint and from a fight perspective, as if, like, you know, you're looking at a fight as a competitive fight and looking at it as a competitive competition, it's embarrassing, right? There is no competition here. I think most people know that Jake Paul will most likely beat Mike Tyson, and I say most likely because I do acknowledge, yes, this is combat sports, and we have seen time and time and time and time and time and time and time again, we have seen these upsets happen. And look, I'm not gonna sit here and say Mike Tyson can't catch Jake Paul maybe with a right hand, all right? I'm just gonna say that right away. Mike Tyson still hits hard. I'm sure he's fast. I just think more likely than not, this is going to end badly and just embarrassingly for Mike Tyson. And I've talked about this at length before. My prediction if the fight does actually go down is I think that Mike Tyson is going to go down rather early, and I think it is just going to leave us all with this very icky feeling, kind of like when Evander Holyfield fought Vitor Belfort. I think that is the best comparison. If you watch that fight live, you will know exactly what I mean. It just felt wrong on so many levels, and this is what this fight is going to do. But alright, let's get into it, guys. Last Sunday, Mike Tyson was on an airplane going from Los Angeles to Miami, where all of a sudden he was stopped by medical attention, and we had heard about this at the time. We just didn't know what to make of it. However, it did eventually get revealed to us that Mike Tyson would have to now pull out of the Jake Paul fight because of an ulcer flare-up. He was not able to train for a few weeks afterwards, causing him to pull out, wanting to get a full training camp, which of course makes sense. And right off the bat, are we even surprised? This is a near 60-year-old man training full strength to go through a boxing match. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I don't care who it is, if it's Mike Tyson or whoever it is, yes, this is going to be a problem. He is 60 years old and has taken tons of damage. He is from a boxing era that they weren't even necessarily so concerned about their safety and health. So you can only imagine the trauma that Mike Tyson has already gone through. I think that he is most likely going to easily get knocked out by Jake Paul just because of the damage he has taken. The guy can't even board an airplane, let alone go into a boxing fight. And of course, I respect Mike Tyson. I respect him even more for taking this fight. This is a younger guy, and Mike Tyson's at all the disadvantages here. So I'm not trying to destroy Mike Tyson here. I have a lot of respect for the guy. Just this is more of a video making fun of Jake Paul. Now, we do have some details. Apparently, the date is supposed to be announced June 7th, which is Friday. I don't know if that is still on track to be the case. They still want this thing to be at AT&T Stadium. I'm not so sure if they are going to be able to fill up the stadium. We will see about that. Mike Tyson is pretty big. And I guess my first question is, what's going to happen with this undercard, right? Because the undercard was looking very good with Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor being the co-main event. That could arguably a main event of it itself. Then we also had fights like Darren Till versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. The undercard was looking good, as well as Anissa and Gibb looking like he was going to be on the undercard. So I gotta say, I am disappointed. As much as I didn't like the main event, the undercard was shaping up to be very fun. I was excited for the Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor rematch. I was in attendance for the first fight, so I definitely was excited. So as someone that paid a full price ticket to just be in the arena, it's crazy to me that we're getting this free on Netflix as a co-main event. But it seems like Jake Paul's mostly going to wait for Mike Tyson, wait for the opportunity to abuse yet another elder. Like, seriously, I saw this stat, and this is 100% true. The guy has not beaten anybody under the age of 35. This is an insane stat. Look, the thing about these YouTube boxers, and I don't want to get into this so much, it's like specifically Jake Paul, it's like you can make all these excuses, this, that, and that. Just look at what's going on. The guy is fighting older dudes. This is not a secret. He's fighting everybody handicapped. And I understand to a certain extent that's how boxers are built, but it's just embarrassing. Like, don't go around talking like you're beating everybody. Like, KSI, I do have to give a little bit more respect to, because at least KSI does fight those harder fights. He did fight Tommy Fury pretty early, much earlier than Jake ever did. Look, I can keep going on and on. My point is that Jake Paul, yes, is mostly going to wait, but he was calling out KSI, offering him to fight. Jake Paul tweeted, KSI's coach is saying he is over 200 pounds right now, so no weight excuses. Let's run it. July 20th, and then Paul Tyson October/November. Jake also went on to say, I just gave KSI in his forehead the opportunity again for July. He said he's fighting in August. Cool, I'm fighting in October/November. February it is, 200 pounds, MSG, NYC, get it done. Now, I would love to see this fight at MSG because, of course, I am from New York. However, we've seen this song and dance before where both guys are calling out one another and this fight doesn't get made. I may made a video calling out both these two, explaining, yeah, both of these guys are ducking the other, right? This isn't a situation, I don't believe one is more scared than the other. They're just both scared. There's so much on the line for these two. And honestly, these two have kind of just built up their boxing career being a rival to the other. Like, you could argue Jake maybe separated himself a little bit, but still, there always is that underlying question. So there's always going to be hesitancy on both guys because this is a legacy-defining moment. KSI just responded by saying, "You asked for 185, Jake, you fraudulent twat. The old folks home has run out of options. This is all just noise. You don't really want to fight. December, let's run it at 185. No bullshit, no excuses." And it's just so funny to be a guy on the outside because I have hated on both of these guys, but this is just funny. Yeah, like, Jake Paul literally is just reaching in a nursing home, just trying to take old people out at this point, just trying to box them. It is so embarrassing. Like, I have gone through this in past videos. Jake and KSI have both now been boxing for about 6 years. This is a ridiculous excuse to act like these guys are now beginners. They have been training with the best guys. KSI himself trains with MVP's coach. Both these guys are well experienced in combat sports. This isn't an excuse anymore. These guys are well fine on their own and definitely could step up the competition. And credit to KSI also on a side note that apparently he's fighting Amir Khan. That is an interesting matchup despite the huge size advantage. But if we're talking about pure boxing, I think Amir Khan has a big advantage in that fight. I definitely want to break that down at some point, but let me know what you guys think. Maybe when it's official, I will. But yeah, that's basically the update of what's going on with the KSI versus Jake Paul fight. That will absolutely never happen, and I would be shocked if it ever does. This thing is probably going to happen when these two have milked their careers to the final, and they're like, you know what, we just need one more paycheck, and that's that. That is the only way this fight is going to happen. But we move on, because Jake Paul, yes, is still fighting Mike Tyson. This is just embarrassing, and I've even heard this rumor on Twitter, and I'll take it with a grain of salt, because this is coming from a KSI fan account. But I did see this tweet. It has been rumored from a close source to Mike Tyson that he has suffered an internal blood clot, which likely led to the ulcer as one of the conditions. Bottom line, he lost a lot of blood, and I'm sure the altitude didn't help. Despite the fact that Tyson is still a warrior and always will be, I would be surprised if any self-respecting doctor would ever clear him, at least before some lengthy period of recuperation. And sadly, there are a lot of doctors that do not have the self-respect to step in. Yeah, like, don't worry, you will find a crooked doctor somewhere. But sadly, I do see this fight still going ahead. I think at this point, Jake Paul's ego has gotten so crazy to the point where it's like all these fans are shitting on him. I think at this point, he wants a big fuck you and say, yeah, well, this fight is still going on. Despite looking at this, like, dude, this is not even a fun fight. This is not going to end up good. I've said this time and time again, and I will end this video once again saying that this fight, when it's done, I believe will leave us all with a very icky feeling and just not happy. Like, I think this thing is going to be very disturbing to watch. I think it's going to be a very grim night, and I think it's just going to leave us all like, okay, what did I just watch?
Scared of the real man. I'll fuck you till you love me, faggot.
But guys, that's my video, guys. Make sure you guys check out my video where I talked about Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, the whole press conference situation, and why I think Conor McGregor is injured. I actually have some evidence that people are not talking about. I put all the pieces together. I think I know why the fight got canceled and all of that. As a matter of fact, I go as bold as to predict I don't think this fight is going to happen June 29th. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. You guys are the best fan base in MMA and boxing and all of that, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.